That's true.
Yeah. So the dude converted and lives here now, and
That's wild.
still has longest hair.
That's pretty weird. I mean, we were thinking about, hey, what was that? Oh, Diamond Rex.
Diamond Rex, yeah, Land of the Damned. Did you ever listen to that?
I vaguely remember them.
Yeah.
Mostly
They were-
stuff I heard from.
They were pre Demols. We're live, right?
Yeah.
We're going. Okay. So
Episode 5.
it was the singer and guitarist from Demols that had Diamond Rex previously. So
Oh,
it's almost a little punkish.
Yeah.
Just kind of raw and aggressive, whereas Demols was, just sass.
Yeah, and just not giving a F, man, more.
Yeah.
Like Tamales, they cared a little bit about little sass and stuff,
Yeah.
right? Diamond, they're just like,
Yeah. Which
I'll revisit that, yeah.
That reminds me when I was out in LA, 'cause Steve was really into Demols, remember?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so,
Stevie.
yeah. Do you talk to Steve anymore?
It's been, oh my gosh, it's probably been 4 or 5 years.
Wow.
I mean, the last I really heard from him was when Dave Glenn died.
Ah,
And
okay.
that was 9 years ago.
Wow, shit.
Yeah.
who's Dave Glenn?
He was the bass player in our band.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the one you had in L.A., right?
Yeah. He was,
We should probably introduce him.
Yeah. This is D-Train Priest joining us today.
Yeah,
He is Desi's brother
that's right.
and old school rock and roll, hard rock and roller.
amen.
Hesher.
Hesher heavy metaler. Is it heavy metaler? Throw that in there too?
Sure.
A little bit of heavy metal. Little dash.
Yeah, they all blur together.
Yeah. He's sitting in with us today. So we're happy to have him.
Thank you.
Get some tales from the strip.
Tales from the Strip, dude. He did. He lived out in L.A. for a little while.
Yeah. Yeah.
A long
Sometimes
while.
I forget exactly when it was. Probably need Ren to help me out here a little bit.
Well, I'm trying to remember how long you had been out there. I came out and stayed for a week. It was that summer before my senior year. So that would have been 88.
Yeah, so I went out. I didn't go to any of my senior year, so it must have been the end of my junior year, which was, I think, 1986.
Yeah.
So out there from then until I moved back to Salt Lake about a month after the Rodney King riots in 92. So
That'll do it.
that was it.
Eject.
Out of here, man. So when you went out there, did you like save up some dough, or did you just hitch a ride? What was
well, funny story, I mean, you're that young, you don't really, I mean, you're a 17-year-old kid, so I had a little bit of money, but I had a bunch of sheep that I sold my younger brother Nathan.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
That's right, Burley
So I think I
stories.
sold him like
Love these.
$700 worth of sheep. I had a couple $100 on top of that, and by the third day, the whole $925 was gone. So it was pretty scary. No job, no nothing. 17 years old, don't know anyone in Hollywood.
Oh shit, that is crazy, man.
But at that age in your life,
Well, as a kid, you probably thought that $900 was.
that's
ton of money.
That'll cover me for a while.
I got $1,000. What am I
Yeah.
doing?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of stories to that. I mean, one thing I didn't realize going out was, stayed in a hotel the first night and got a newspaper early in the morning. Started calling some of these like studio apartments and whatnot, and I'd probably get 2 or 3 questions in. I'm sure because of my age. I sounded like a little buffoon. So, of course, about 2-3 questions in, it's like, how old are you? So then I said 17, and it's like, do you have a guardian or parent to sign on this? I'm like, no, it's not going to happen. So I think about the 3rd, 4th call, I told them I was 18. But the reality
picked
is,
up on it.
when
You were like, all right,
when
I
they
get
went
this.
and saw the place, it's like, how old are you? So fortunately, I don't know. It was one of those lucky things where someone kind of said, let's take a chance. But
Need a tenant, so.
yeah, we'll take your money.
Yep.
And then you just looked. Did you start looking for a band out there? Did you go out there with some guys? Or?
No, well, I had a friend, Troy Williams, that played in the band that he went out to for a little bit.
Black Resin.
That was the band.
His Burley band.
Oh, killer.
So we call him Black Raisin.
Black Raisin. That was the
And it's resin.
Get it right.
Whatever.
Yeah, so, I didn't really think the other guys were going to come out, so I knew I was probably not going to be playing with those guys, anyone from home, so just started meeting people. And
There's a lot of people out there at that time that were doing bands, and so it wasn't Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot
Yeah. In
of that out
fact,
there.
that was one thing I always thought was really interesting, is being in such a big city, and almost everyone I met was out there for to be. Somehow followed the entertainment industry, whether it was music or acting or whatever. Yep. And I very seldom met people who were from Los Angeles. They were always was from somewhere else.
Right. Everybody moved out there to do something in the entertainment thing, huh?
Yeah. I do remember one guy that was from out there. I guess I can't really consider or call him a friend. I knew him for a couple of years, hung out with him. We all called him Rat's Ass. And to this day, I don't know either one of his first or last names. So anyhow. Just,
that would look cool. Rat's Ass. R-A-T-Z-A-Z. Rataz. No, it's Rat's Ass. Oh. Kind of like the Amir to Rock, dude.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, all of my years, I thought, wow, Amir to Rock. What a cool name. You know what I mean? These guys must be Persian or somewhere.
Yeah.
Middle East.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
That was one of the first people you met out there, right?
Yeah. Very first, I guess if you're going to say, well, rock star or someone that was signed to a major label. And I remember when I saw him, I kind of ran up to him and I'm like, "Hey, aren't you Amir Derek?" I'm like, "Well, no, yeah." I thought his name was Amir Derek. So I'm like,
Amir Derek.
"Hey, aren't you Amir Derek?" And he's kind of like, just with his attitude, he's like, "Amir to Rock," and just walked off, and I felt like an asshole.
Yeah. That's the first time I knew of it when you told me. I was like, "Oh, Amir to Rock." Duh.
Didn't catch you.
I didn't catch up on it.
Tame Me Down.
Tame Me Down. What a cool name, Tammy. What is that? Is that French? No, guy.
Yeah, Ren should have known all the names from the band of Rough Cutt before I went out there.
Well, that didn't mean I knew how to pronounce them. So.
That's right.
Yeah, or what they meant.
Yeah.
Was that your first concert?
That was D.O. Rough Cutt. We talked about that on our first episode, and that's why we're like, we got to get D-Train in here for the...
Yeah, it seems like we touch on
Amir story, and plus you auditioned for him at some point, right?
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Did you call in on that, or did you?
It was in. I think it was in a couple of the papers out there, rock papers like Band Magazine and whatnot. And gosh, it's funny how your memory kind of starts to blur. But I think it's because Quiet Riot had fired Kevin DuBrow and hired Paul Shortino. And he came in. I think he recorded Quiet Riot 3, right?
Yeah.
That's right. And anyhow, so I just saw the audition for them and had to schedule an appointment. And I remember I was running late. Me and my buddies had been down at the beach. I was, went in there, probably hadn't showered in 2 weeks. Wearing a pair of cowboy boots and shorts.
Right, this guy's hired.
Sand in my hair.
Yeah.
And
sounds California.
Yeah. And it was just, I'm sure I was pretty nervous and everything, and just I wasn't prepared to any degree. But Dave Alford's the one that kind of ran the show there as far as
music director.
Yeah, he kind of was the one that was talking to me, and so I ended up just like playing 2 songs, and so one of them was "Piece of My Heart" by they didn't even write, of course, and by Janis Joplin, and and the other one I believe was "Black Widow." And I totally forgot the words and jacked it all up. And anyway, because they were asking, what songs I wanted to do. Yeah. I was out the door with them before the next in line was singing before I was out the door. But anyway, it was kind of interesting.
I don't know if they ever did anything. Did they go straight to Jailhouse? Because they never got another guy after.
There were no more Rough Cut releases in that era. But I don't know if they just had trouble finding somebody and. Couple
Nothing
of the other
worked
guys.
out.
Yeah, just
so they just had those first 2. Was it 2 albums, right?
Yeah, 2 records.
Yeah,
that'd have been so dope if you would have got the gig. And we had a third Rough Cut record sitting here with you on vocals. That'd be dope.
I was just in no position, not prepared at all for that. But it was interesting.
Did they say they still had ties with Warner Brothers, or did they cut them loose? They say anything about that? Any business stuff?
No. I mean, it was just straight
in and
to
out.
it. Yeah. Really quick, pretty short lived, and like I say,
because you're the only person I know that has tried out, or I've never read any stories or anything about who else tried out. Or
now Johnny Lightfoot auditioned for Tough.
Yes.
Oh, really?
She told me that.
But that was like 91, 92, somewhere in there. Or maybe even a little later than that. Yeah. So it was definitely in the declining days of, hard rock,
yeah,
rock. So
Calm Before the Storm. You told me about how the main singer dude didn't even show up.
Well, Johnny said, he gets there to the audition, and he said the guitar player said, "So Stevie can't make it today. His girlfriend's got new boobs."
So his day's tied up.
So as
you do, right? I mean, that's going to take your day.
Yeah,
I don't got time to rehearse bass player. You guys got that.
You guys got it. So, they went to break into one of the songs, and the guitarist kept botching the riff. So Johnny had to show him how to play it.
There are guys.
Yeah, there are guys.
There.
Yeah, so Johnny showed him how to play it.
Wrong.
Went through a few songs, and anyway. They did give him a call back, but they had two things that kept him from getting the gig. And the first one was his hair wasn't long enough. Because Lightfoot, I remember this being a thing. He couldn't get his hair like past his collarbone. It just the cycle of his hair loss and regrowth was fast enough that he just couldn't get any real length to it.
It was quite a bit of dudes that same thing, right?
Yeah.
It only grows so long.
And then the second thing was he wore his bass too high.
Oh, dude. That's a no-no.
It's got to be low
slinging.
Hey, this is fucking tough you're auditioning for.
I bet he played with his fingers, too, right?
He probably did, which would have been an out.
Nope.
That would have been an out. No.
I said that to bass players later. It's like, can't you play with a pick? And they look at me like, so it was the reverse.
Right.
Like, why would I play with a pick? It's like, because you look like a dork playing with your fingers. It's just that thing, you know what I mean? It's that thing from the time, the punk.
Yeah, absolutely.
The hard rock,
Yeah.
So.
Because I learned to appreciate it later, but within certain contexts, like Exit Calm.
Yeah.
To do some of his bass lines, I think you'd have to work with your fingers, I'm guessing.
Oh, true, yeah. That's true. That was later.
Much later. So.
Yeah, and then the post-punk stuff had a lot of bass picking, too.
Yeah.
Yep.
That attack.
Well, I love that story because it's just like, wow, all those Rough Cutt things just keep haunting me. That's why I took a photo of that right away, and I was like, send it to Ren, send it to Dustin.
Yeah.
Because like, you guys got to see this shit.
Yep. That would have been fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was, it was a really cool time to be out there. That was a really,
that was, you said 89,
Guns N' Roses was
right?
just breaking. And,
86.
Yeah.
Didn't you live with one of the dudes?
Yeah, for a little bit. They called it the big houses in the Hollywood Hills. I had a couple connections. One, basically I had a friend named Carlos Ruiz, so my buddy Los, and he was friends with Wes Arkeen. And so, that's how I met like Axl Rose and, all the guys in the band. They never really were together much, so like...
Oh, the band, they were kind
of... I had a friend, Todd Crew, who played in Jet Boy, and... Los hung out with him a lot. Los is the one that kind of introduced me to all these guys. He'd already been out there. He was in a band called Landing Gear from Eugene, Oregon, and he was waiting for his band to come out.
Oh,
and
okay.
So he already had met these people, and so that's kind of where I got most of my connections. But I started hanging out. I met a guy named Joe Isabel, which is Jeff Isabel's brother, Izzy Stradler from Guns N' Roses.
Oh, that's his real name? I never even knew that. Okay,
yeah,
Jeff
so
Isabel.
we played with... We kind of tried to put a little band together and tried to get a lot of advice from Izzy, and it was kind of interesting. But when I hung out with Todd Crew or Los and those guys, mostly it was like Duff and Slash that we'd hang out with more. Those they were kind of just like these little combos you'd hang out with that were it's never like the whole band.
Like everybody together.
I think there's always those little cliques within bands.
For sure.
So,
yeah. If we hung out with Wes, sometimes then we'd see Axl and things like that. So. Yeah, it was just a really cool time to be there, And
I remember meeting Joe when I came out.
Oh, that's right.
Joe as well. Yeah. So
yeah. So he's back in Lafayette, Indiana. So, that's where they're both from, and I always felt bad for him because anytime we'd talk to people, they'd always say, "Hey, you're Izzy's little brother," and we called him Izzy too because their last name being Isabel, it was just their nickname was Izzy. So. I always could see almost his pain in his eyes that he just would never fill his brother's shoes.
Oh, right.
But he ended up. He's a mechanic now, so he works on Harley Davidsons back home, and
he loves it.
Yeah,
passion.
Are you in touch with him?
No, I haven't been for a few years. I need to again because I got a few houses in Richmond, Indiana, which is not that far from Lafayette, a couple hours. So I definitely want to reconnect. So
how was Landing Gear? I've never heard that name before. Were they pretty cool?
Yeah, they were interesting. That whole band ended up coming out, and they never played any shows together. They all kind of splintered off and did different things. But they were a band from Eugene, Oregon.
Wasn't Black and Blue from Oregon?
Yeah.
They were Portland, right?
Yeah.
Portland?
Yeah. Yeah.
So there was kind of some of those guys migrating down, right?
I had some other friends. Our bass player, Dave Glam, the guy I just talked about that passed, he was in a band called Expiracy that actually ended up moving out to L.A. And
I didn't hear them either.
I had their old
they're
demo.
pretty good.
They were good. Yeah.
Really? I'd
they
love
were
to
good.
hear that, man.
And then I think I sent you some links to that band, Wild Dogs.
Yeah, you would send me all sorts of stuff that I'd never heard, and it was killer.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a good line. Just fires. Check this out, you know?
Yeah, and I remember like when I first got out to LA too, I'd get the band magazines and I cut some of the pictures out. I remember sending Rand.
Yeah.
I was sending pictures of like Guns N' Roses and stuff back in, their early days. You know, they're wearing makeup.
Well,
kinds of
yeah,
stuff.
because I remember you sent me a thing. Said, "Hey, man, these guys are releasing an EP soon. Check it out." And they were getting ready to release Live Like a Suicide. And what was the name of that music store? Was it Phase 4 Stereo? The Griggs owned it.
It was
Phase 4. Yeah.
Phase 4?
Yeah. I remember going there and they got, I think, 1 or 2 copies of Live Like a Suicide. So I bought one, of course, took it home. Thought this kind of sucks.
Compared to,
Well, it was so different, to what I was listening to at the time. It was raw, but I mean, it grew on me. And
then there's all the glam, and they were really dirty looking. So I remember, I think you
scummy.
I think you said something like that to me at a letter back.
Look a little scummy.
These guys are.
There was a lot of clean, pretty boys back then.
I expected the hair to be washed and styled.
Yeah. Jufria style.
Yeah.
Gayufria? Gayufria. That's it.
So, but Dustin also turned me on to like Jane's Addiction. He said there's this up and coming band, blah, blah, blah.
That
And,
blew
like,
the scene
Perry
apart.
Farrell had like auctioned off one of his dreads or something.
Yeah.
So I remember when that came out. So I bought that cassette. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, that blew the scene out.
That was great.
Probably more than grunge. They always say grunge or Nirvana or whatever.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, nothing shocking started that whole
That
road for
opened
me.
the door. Yeah.
I'd agree with that totally.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because it still had elements of all. It was a smooth transition, and it had an oddity about it too.
Yeah.
That was like, what the hell am I listening to?
Yeah.
This is different for the rock world.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, like I said, I remember that summer I went out there for a week to visit, and because I can only imagine how it was in '86. Because this is 2 years later. Because we'd gone out to some clubs, and the scene was. I mean, there were just people everywhere: long-haired dudes, hot chicks,
Flyers.
it was
Teased.
everything you hear about. It was pretty
That
accurate.
would be cool.
Yeah, remember going to the Waters Club because it's '88, of course. So LA Guns have their first record out.
Oh,
and they're playing the Waters Club, and we've got limited funds,
Yeah.
So it was they were the headliner. Warrant was opening,
Okay.
and they were celebrating signing their record deal.
Okay.
And then Moxie Rocks, who were like this kind of.
I think I've heard that. There's so many Moxies.
I know.
And the Roxies
They never.
and the
Yeah, they never
and the
signed.
Moxo.
I don't think they ever signed a deal or put anything out. But they had a really cool style and sound. It was almost kind of Throbs-ish, or but they. I don't know. They just look.
Throbs. That's funny. I just got those the other day.
Oh, did you really?
Checking out some Throbs. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Little Caesar opened the show.
Little Caesar, not yeah.
I like
Little Caesar.
I did.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to listen to them again. I just got them about a month ago.
Yeah, Dustin's always kind of leaned a little more towards the real bluesy.
That's what it was.
influence.
Yeah, it was a little bluesy.
Yeah,
So I'll have to get.
but I mean, great vocalist.
Yeah.
Great vocalist.
Yeah, he can croon.
Little Caesar. That was so many bands.
So that show, I forgot all the lineup of that show.
Jeez, that's great,
The Waters,
man.
but was it Moxie Rocks? Did he hit someone in the head with his mic stand? During
Yeah,
the show?
I think he did. Yeah, they came out with
The
this
metal bass, that big.
Yeah,
he had a straight
yeah.
stand.
Yeah.
They came out with
Oh,
this
dude.
attitude. And again, they were kind of like the odd band on the bill because they were, I would say there was kind of a glam element, but almost more of a 70s kind of vibe.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And just not like a pretty glam, like an 80s glam. It was definitely something that was dirtier.
It was going kind of that way, right, with Guns N' Roses and
Yeah,
stuff
but it
like
wasn't like Guns N' Roses either. It was
that? Oh, it's something else.
It was man.
I wish I had a chance to see them.
Aerosmithy?
Again.
Or not even that. Something
not
else.
even that.
Yeah, Little Caesars was totally different than any of that
Yes.
stuff, I thought.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, they
Well,
were,
yeah,
they
'cause
were bluesy and they were more rock and
Yeah.
had a 70s vibe that didn't really correlate with any of the other stuff that the guys were basing their ideas on.
And then you had Warrant, who that was my first experience with Warrant, and they were very polished and very choreographed.
Yeah, and they're
Very powder puff.
pop oriented.
yeah,
that
which-
singer was a pop songwriter for sure.
which I thought, whatever, it was
Yeah.
fun to experience it.
Totally.
But I was there for LA Guns, obviously.
Yeah.
So
That was killer.
yeah, they were great.
Yeah.
In fact, I think that was my first time seeing them. Maybe.
Probably. I mean,
Black leather.
How old were you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were.
I would have been 17, so
Wow.
I'm surprised the parents let him come out.
yeah, man.
Of course, you had a plan.
I had a plan. They had there was a co-ed restroom at the Waters Club.
Yeah.
Co-ed restroom, like a big one.
Really?
Yeah, because I remember standing at the urinal taking a piss, and these girls are in there. What?
Girls want to do some blow? You got any? No.
That's right.
Wow,
the chicks
that's
had
good.
all the stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
The rock guys
the
did. It was all
food,
the
the
girls.
dough,
Yeah.
the rent money.
That's right.
All that.
Yeah, so my plan was, I told my parents I wanted to go out to LA to convince Dustin to come back.
Oh, God.
But here was my real plan. I wasn't coming back.
No. But I'll tell you that's what I'm doing.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that.
He knew we needed a drummer.
Yeah, they needed a drummer. Their band didn't have a drummer.
2 weeks later.
And
he
at
said
that point, I really didn't drum, so I just thought I was a drummer or going to be a drummer.
Hey, that's how it all starts.
That's right. So
Just take the box yes all the way down.
I get out there and tell Dustin my plan. He's like, nope, you're not staying.
See ya.
Shot it right down.
But it was fun, right?
Yeah.
Well, I remember my parents, because I flew out of Salt Lake, to LA. So
Yeah.
my parents picked me up when I came back. And we partied. We ate shitty when we did eat, which we didn't eat a lot.
Yeah.
I got off the plane. I think I probably just looked like death because my mom was like, "Are you sick?" Just white.
It was gray.
Yeah.
I don't remember all the stats, but
Looked like Steve's guitar. Is that gray or green?
That's
a little-
It's gold.
yeah, I don't remember all the stats. I think you reminded me of some of them. You were what were they? 8 or 9 days? We ate like 8 meals in 9 days or something.
Yeah, something like that.
That's all you
Yeah.
need once a day, right? You guys were young, man. You
And
don't
we were
need food.
boozing.
And you were boozing.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. I remember I took a couple little bottles of Night Train back. Because Guns N' Roses,
Yeah, man. I'm on the night train.
Yeah. So I gave a few of my friends a little bottle of Night Train.
Pick it out, dudes.
Back from LA.
Yeah.
From that, just got in. Hey,
Yeah.
that's cool, man.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Good trip.
That's great stuff,
Well,
man.
probably the weirder thing was when Nathan came out, younger brother. He was in 8th grade.
How much younger is he than you?
Nate's 5 years younger than me.
Oh, wow. I didn't know he was that
Yeah.
much. Okay. So he's,
Yeah. And
what is he, like 30, 45 now?
He's 40,
40,
44.
44?
Yeah.
So,
So right, he's about 8 years younger than me.
Yeah.
Because you're the same age as me, right? 60, 65?
70.
Oh, are you
I'm
70 now?
Todd.
We're 70 now?
72 coming up for me.
All right. Dumb old jokes. Okay. What were you saying? So he came out there.
Yeah.
So I don't even really remember circumstances. He brought his best friend, the Cook kid.
Ben Cook.
Ben Cook. And
okay.
It's funny because they'd been kind of hounding me about like coming out. Like it was all scheduled. I have no idea why my parents let him come out.
Because my trip was such a success.
Yes, yeah. Since we nearly killed Ren. while
Maybe
we
they
was
were
out there.
trying to kill off a couple of their kids.
Yeah,
a
they're
little
like,
money.
we got too many. Which one can go?
Who eats the most? Okay, let's send Nate out.
Yeah.
And but.
So not together. He came out alone.
Yeah.
It was that was a separate thing. But they were both in 8th grade, and I'd been meaning to get a band magazine because they kept, Nate was on me to find out like who's playing. We're coming out. We want to go to a show,
Yeah.
So the day we picked him up from the airport, I grabbed a band magazine on my way to the airport, and that night at the Whiskey A Go Go was Bad Brains.
Okay.
Ugly Kid Joe. They had just barely started out, and I don't know if you know how they got their name, but there's a little story behind that.
No, I don't actually.
They were making fun of.
Pretty Boy Floyd. Their first show that they played together, they didn't have a name, and so they said, what they want to put on, the name for their band.
Everything's so obvious that I don't even know.
Not
it.
really, though. I mean,
Yeah, so they didn't have a name, so they were opening up for Pretty Boy Floyd, so they just said Ugly Kid Joe, and it stuck. But anyway, so it was Bad Brains, Ugly Kid Joe, and they were really brand new, and Love Hate, which was Nate and Ben's favorite band.
I couldn't remember if they'd already been introduced to them by then, but okay. Yeah.
So they were hip to them already.
Oh.
Love 8. And
Yeah, so when I picked up the airport, and I saw that, and I'm like, oh, they're gonna freak, man.
Yeah.
And so I don't think they believed me till we actually got to the show and saw them on the marquee.
they got to see
Love Hate, a little stage with Whiskey a
in
Go Go.
LA, Whiskey a
Eighth grade, Whiskey a Go Go.
Great.
That's it.
It's hard
Die in peace.
to top that.
Hollywood.
And die in peace, man. Right?
Yeah.
I think Nate said when he got back and went back to school, it was the greatest essay he ever wrote was about going and seeing that show. I think I've ever read it. It was pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's killer. Blackout in the Red Room. The album was out right. It was just right at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that would have been, 89 probably then,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm guessing.
right in there.
That's when that came out. Or was it 90? 90?
Guns was already happening. Guns was already going.
Yeah, Guns
Yeah.
was...
Appetite was 87, right?
Yep.
Okay.
But it really didn't blow till 88, right?
Right.
It
Yeah,
was
that
about a
sounds
year.
right.
So it probably would have been about 90.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What a killer album.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, because you guys met Chris Holmes that trip.
Oh.
At the tattoo shop? Or where Nate was getting his jacket painted?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Really?
Art to the Bone. It burned down in the riots, but Nate had bought a leather jacket and he wanted to get some things painted. They were doing a lot of the airbrush painting and stuff on jackets then, so Chris Holmes hung out there all the time, so yeah.
How cool, man.
Yeah. That's right. Chris Holmes was there, and
Yeah.
we'd run into him quite a bit.
He was still in Wasp at that point. Yeah, he was, right? Or was that almost no? Because he did Inside the Electric and then he was out, right?
So I'm thinking he might have even
Maybe another one after
maybe.
that? Yeah.
He was probably
I'm not sure.
He might have been on the cusp, or he might have been out because he just seemed at that point he was hanging around Hollywood.
He was just hanging out everywhere.
And if that was close to 90, because he played in a band called Psycho Squad after that for a period of time.
Because after Electric Circus, there was a live record that was probably in 87 or 88, which I know he was on that, and then he was out, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm kind of... Because he wasn't on Headless Children. Wasn't that where...
I don't think
Yeah.
so.
No, he was.
Was he?
Guitar.
Huh.
Okay, Headless Children. All right, so this was what I was thinking the other day, because I was thinking he was out, but yet he actually did. So that was the last record he did with him.
Okay.
Headless Children. Vin was telling me, I think that's his favorite one. Is that his favorite record? I think so. Lost record.
Well, yeah, one of those later ones,
Yeah.
I feel like was, yeah.
Yeah, that's one of his favorites for sure, if not his favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, Man, I loved Rough Cutt, dude. I was a big fan of them. I saw them open for Dio. I think it was that same
tour.
Yeah.
Must have been the same tour.
And they
yeah.
came here for the Salt Palace and went there for that. And used to love buying those T-shirts. I'd always have to have a T-shirt so I could walk into school the next day, you know?
Everyone knew who you were the night before.
I was at the show. I was. In case you were wondering.
Of course. We all did.
I won't take a one-sided shirt either. It's got to be both. So I'm going that way. You're seeing me coming, and you're seeing me going. Was he at the show? I don't know. Look. Yeah, he was at the show.
You know what's funny about that? Back in the day, like I wouldn't want a T-shirt that didn't have something on the back either.
Yeah.
Now I don't want anything on the back.
Now you're not a back.
I don't know why that is.
Yeah.
Because I bought this Cult T-shirt a couple years ago. And on the back, it just has that emblem that's on the cover of Love, which is cool.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't really want anything on the back. I don't know why that is.
Yeah, unless it's super. I mean, sometimes it's like filler for a lot.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, wasn't it mostly
Tour dates? Yeah, tour dates.
Yeah, I'd have a rundown.
The front would have the cool artwork and the logo, but the back was filler usually.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
Back of the record, right?
yeah, or some saying, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the Van Halen Kicks Ass? Was that what it was? Van Halen Kicks Ass? That first tour with Sammy Hagar? Which,
like that.
actually Van Halen did not kick ass at that point, so that was false advertising. Right. But I remember at the Burley High School, like everyone came back and so many people had that shirt the next day that there was an emergency assembly called. And Mr. Billets, the principal, is like, you know, you guys cannot wear these shirts to school.
Censorship.
Yeah.
In the early days.
Yeah.
Which I didn't have one.
Is that the one with the lion coming out of the front? Or that still was DLR?
I don't know. The funny thing is, I remember that was an early concert for me.
But it was Hagar. 5150.
But I just remember I wanted to go to the show, but I was not into buying a shirt, and I just didn't like where they went with Hagar musically.
No.
So
No.
First show I ever saw was Van Halen in 1984.
That's the only Van Halen show I saw too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
I don't know.
Jack opened up for him.
The Jack.
Who did?
The Jack. I don't know. It was a local band.
Oh, from here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I remember those guys.
yeah.
The Jack. That's right. I think it was. No, I'm thinking of who opened for Iron Maiden. Was it David Lee Roth? Yeah, I think that was it. Man, some of those days back then get pretty
Blurry.
hazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody was touring with everybody.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, the Rough Cutt, because I think Dio's wife was managing them.
Yes.
Is that right? Wendy
Yep.
Dio was managing Rough Cutt, and
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know this. She was probably already his ex-wife at that point,
oh really?
but they still maintained a professional relationship. I didn't know that, but yeah.
Yeah, wow. That first Rough Cutt was pretty moody for the times.
Yeah.
Definitely wasn't in, the
Yeah.
party. We didn't have a lot of party songs on there.
No.
The kids will rock. I mean, what?
Gang chorus.
Yeah, a demonic gang chorus. But still cool, so cool.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that first album.
And then One Shoe was more of the party stuff and rock anthems.
Yeah.
Now, did you say you thought you remembered Roth opening for Maiden? That seems like a wild bill.
It does. I'm trying to think what it was.
I saw
Or
GNR.
Maiden opened for.
I saw GNR open for Iron
that's
Maiden.
here.
Yes.
That's when he got hit with the
Salt
bottle, right?
Yeah.
Axl?
Yeah.
Was that on the Appetite?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was a lighter that hit him because I remember
Was it a
watching
lighter?
him when it happened.
Rumors.
Yeah. But I mean, fucking flyer
Whatever it is.
throwing
it's-
40 yards, it's going to have some impact. I mean,
Yeah.
I remember it cut his mouth,
Oh shit.
fucking threw the mic
man,
down.
I bet he was pissed. He never
Yeah.
let that one go. And then he just walked off the stage after that. Oh, you guys don't want to hear this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was a cue that they probably shouldn't have released Knocking on Heaven's Door because that's what they were playing. They were at the beginning of it. He's doing his little fucking sway dance and all of a sudden, bam, fucking right in the mouth.
Maybe it was Jacob Dylan out there, Bob's son. That's my dad, asshole.
Well, then we saw Filter that one time, and didn't someone throw a quarter and hit that dude in the
Quarter
face?
at him. Patrick, he went nuts.
He went
Remember
nuts?
that? He went
Yeah.
on like a freaking 10-minute rant. dude.
Yeah.
Come on, if you're a Filter fan, you'll find that guy
And kick his
Through the corner
ass.
And kick his, yeah. It got awkward. It was like, all right, yeah. Wasn't the band so? Dun, 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 dun,
Right.
dun, 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 dun. How long we doing this?
That would catch you off guard though. Get whacked.
Well,
Oh,
shit.
dude,
Yeah.
can you imagine?
Do something hard as a rock.
Yeah.
Quarter hitting you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you hear those old bands playing the smaller bars and stuff and getting like bottles chucked at them. What was that movie, Roadhouse?
Roadhouse, yeah.
Remember the Jeff, what's his name? Playing
Jeff Healey.
Jeff Healey?
Yeah.
Bottles. They have chicken wire up. Kind of, said go ahead and do it. That's a movie though, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would have sucked. But yeah, they were opening for Maiden, wasn't that? That was probably somewhere in time or.
Yeah,
Something like
because it was
that.
88, and I didn't even stick around for Maiden that show. I
didn't either.
Cut out because me
Guns
and my
out.
friends that had come down for the show got a hotel, and we were going to party, of course,
Yeah.
So I got turned around. I walked out the front of the Salt Palace, and I should have gone left, and I went right because I was turned around. Wound up walking around the back, realizing needed to circle back, and Slash was out back on a BMX bike, goofing off.
Yeah.
So I met him, and then I met Izzy and Steven Adler. So
That's killer.
yeah,
You had pretty good luck with that stuff, meeting people.
yeah,
You're
I
good.
guess I do.
Bang Tango?
No Bang Tango.
Oh, that wasn't the bus. That was
Rough Cut.
That was Rough Cut.
Rough Cut.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, it was Rough Cut.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we,
That's killer.
we went to that show together, right?
To Rough Cut?
Yeah.
No, I went with Matt Crumley.
Oh.
His mom drove us.
I was trying to think, how'd we lose you and where'd you go and how'd we all get back home? I don't even remember now.
I was the younger brother, man. No one wanted the younger brother coming along.
Look, try to get some chicks.
The chicks were on the bus, so
Yeah.
That's right. Didn't you say Amir came out of the back?
yeah,
Zipping up the pants. What am I signing?
yeah. Headed right back. Yeah.
At least he came out. He could have said, I'm busy.
Right.
I'm busy. Oh, the good old days.
Yeah.
Sort of. You know?
They were.
Yeah.
They were, man.
Yeah.
For little kids, for rocker kids.
I was 14
for us,
or 15
man.
when that happened,
Yeah.
so shit. You
Yeah, and I
know,
would've
talk
been
about
the same
impactful.
age. Yeah.
Still trying to clean up my life from that whole thing. So
Bus life.
Still got a hangover from then.
A friend of mine's little brother, we got him into Bang Tango, and the same type of thing happened. He went onto the bus, him and his friend. They came onto the bus, and they were sitting on there, and one of the friends grabbed Joe Lestay's scarf and tried to steal it, dude. And they were getting off the bus, and they go, "Hey, you got that scarf?" "Oh, yeah." "Gives it back, dude." Man, I'm just trying to get a souvenir.
needed a
dude.
keepsake, man. Yeah.
I would just let the kid keep it, right? Never
Yeah.
know, though. Maybe it was some Valentino or some
Right.
expensive thing he got from one of his girlfriends, you know?
Right. That's funny.
Yeah.
Speaking, going back to that first Guns N' Roses tour, we had backstage passes to the Long Beach Arena, and they opened up for the
Sweet.
Colt.
Oh, wow.
And even that, I remember when the Colt came out. After I think their first song, Ian was saying how they were on tour with the greatest band in the world. He really complimented them, but he only made it. I think they only played 4 or 5, maybe 6 songs.
Cool.
And then Ian jumped into the crowd and started fighting someone. And he got back on stage. He only had one boot. Like someone tore one of his boots off. And so he started screaming, "LA, you're all fucking thieves!"
I paid $180 for those boots.
Yeah.
Someone owes me $90. No.
Yeah.
I'm not leaving till I get that money. Band again.
Yeah.
And that ended the show. I don't remember exactly what happened. Security came out, and it was kind of interesting. But
The interesting thing about Ian Astbury is he is really kind of selective about who he takes on tour. And he really only takes bands that he champions,
Yeah.
I've always kind of found that interesting, and that was pretty cool.
yeah.
I think I've only seen him twice.
Yeah.
One would be with the Black Rider.
Yeah. Right. 2010.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think. I don't think I saw the Sonic Temple tour. That would have been the Sonic Temple, right?
Yeah.
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 I don't think I saw that one. I don't know if they came through here.
Yeah. So,
Great band.
yeah.
Great band.
That's my favorite band.
Are they?
The Colt, yeah.
Yeah, they're up
Failure?
there for me too.
Failure's up there.
But Colt
It's not just
goes right
a
over
skosh.
into number one, slides in.
Yeah.
The bullet.
Yep.
Another thing you brought up earlier, I just keep thinking about was, sometimes you get these wild billings that the bands don't match.
Yeah.
Probably the weirdest one ever I went to was Orange County Amphitheater. And Alice in Chains opened up for Van Halen.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So you had Lane Staley in the cannibal or the fetal position, up front. Didn't hardly move the whole time, and just this dark music. And then next thing, everyone's singing these anthems with Sammy Hagar.
Standing on top of the world.
Yeah, it was bizarre. That was just the weirdest match ever.
Yeah. I remember that tour. That was an odd pairing, but I guess Eddie really liked Alice in Chains, right?
Yeah.
I remember reading that.
Yeah.
So-
Well, I saw the Clash of the Titans out here at the
that's
fairgrounds,
even-
and so that was Alice in Chains, and then Anthrax, Megadeth, and Slayer.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was pretty cool. Didn't seem that weird though. Probably not as weird as that. The difference between Van Halen when
Yeah.
Van Halen was so fluffy at that point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
really odd.
Yeah.
Really odd.
Yeah, that was a weird one. Alice in Chains.
I wish Alice in Chains would do another acoustic style record. I think
Like-
that's really where they shine. Like Jar of Flies.
Oh,
I mean, because it's not completely acoustic, but it's mostly.
Jar of Flies. What's Sap? Is that like the same
That's
thing?
yeah. It's like the first one they did.
The first one they did, and then Jar of Flies later.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're right, man.
I think
They
Sap
do-
was full acoustic, but whereas Jar of Flies wasn't. But
Most
it still
have.
had like that whole vibe of unplugged and
Yeah, they do well. That they sound really good.
Yeah.
doing that.
yeah.
Cantrell, man, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Badass.
Yeah. I had some kid had posted on Facebook, list your top 5 favorite guitarists. And as a drummer, the funny thing is, I think I'm more like influenced or inspired by guitarists than drummers.
Okay.
But yeah, Cantrell was one of mine, and I didn't list 5; I only listed 3. But
Which ones did you list?
I did Billy Duffy, Troy Van Leeuwen and Jerry Cantrell.
Jerry Cantrell.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I remember when I saw Motley open for Ozzy.
Fuck.
On the Bark
That
at the
would've been a
Moon.
show.
Oh yeah,
So that was
so
Shout at the
bad.
Devil, and I'd never seen anything like that before.
Yeah.
Yeah, my bandmates from Black Resin went to that without me. I wasn't able
Black
to-
Raisin.
Black Raisin when I was in
Minus their singer/bassist.
Oh, he played bass and sang?
He was the original Blackie.
Yes.
So.
Oh, you played bass too? Oh,
yeah.
Dude. You guys have any demos of that stuff? Anywhere? Like
Oh
cassettes?
my gosh, I don't.
He had an Ibanez Explorer, like an Explorer body.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
killer.
Yeah.
Because I would always play it at the house when he was gone. Dun, 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 dun. You know.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah.
Try and figure that
Smoke
shit
on
out,
the
right?
water or something, yeah.
Yeah. Dun,
Same here. It's the ones you learn at
dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Thinking you're just making strides, you know.
Dude, check it out. Check it out.
Yeah, I wanted to change my name to Blackie Shawless.
I like that. Blackie Shawless.
Yeah.
The other Blackie.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved Wasp when they came out.
I'd love to, yeah, man, if you ever dig up any of those demos, if they come across, I'd love to hear them. I'd love that stuff. I'll have to play some.
The funny thing is about that band, you guys were what, 15 or 16, and you went to that music store in Pocatello and financed all this fucking
Yeah.
gear,
So-
PA system, fucking
Really?
looked like a fucking 40-piece drum set.
Yeah.
Somebody's parents or something?
No. So
No.
So what? It was Mike's music, and what was her? What the guy that owned that was somehow related to our mom.
Edith.
Or to Edith. Was it Edith?
Yeah, our
Okay.
step grandma.
Yeah. So there was a relation there. But we went down. We bought between the PA and the drum set because I already had my bass guitar and the guitar players already had their guitars. So we just bought this big PA and this drum set. It was $14,000 in
Holy.
what was it, the mid '80s, and
That's a lot of money,
yeah,
man.
I put $2,000 down. I borrowed that from Otis Williams.
Oh,
who was
shit.
Troy Williams, the guitar player in the band. It was his grandpa. He was he opened the first Orida. Him and this Griggs guy, this Otis Williams, and I don't remember Griggs' first name, but,
So they was the
but
starters
Orida was
of that?
on the border of Oregon and Idaho. So my first loan I ever got was I think I borrowed $800 from him, and I had maybe a little extra money because I put probably $1,500 down.
Yeah.
But we financed they let us finance $14,000 worth of gear.
Just 16-year-old kids.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's insane.
Some parents should have been pissed about that.
Yeah.
And they were. They were. Yeah.
But, and then, everyone was supposed to pitch in for the payment. And, of course, I was the only one that pretty much had a job, which was more like slave labor on the dairy. But
Yeah.
Did you guys...
6 cents an hour and a bowl of rice a day.
That just covers interest,
So,
right?
yeah, they end up having to repo it. They came in.
They never got the drum set, though.
No.
Did you guys... Were you guys
that
hold
ended
up?
up with the Lindstroms,
Yeah.
which we do Jeff's wives and daughters hair at the salon.
Oh, wow.
And I've seen Jeff a few times. I didn't recognize him the one time he came in and started talking to me, and I thought, who the fuck is this old guy chatting me up like he knows me? And then it dawned on me it was Jeff Lindstrom because, he was bald, young.
Right.
Was he?
Right.
But and pretty blonde, but now he's all completely white and, obviously, it's shit.
Did he say...
30, 35 years later.
Did you boys ever find that drum set?
Actually, he's the one who had it. He bought it, I think.
Oh, he
from
wasn't
you
the
guys.
guy that...
No, he wasn't in the band.
Yeah,
no.
okay, yeah.
All right.
No.
J.D. Mortensen was the drummer.
Yeah.
Did you have it all in somebody's basement in the band? Or?
Yeah, so it was in Troy Williams' basement in his bedroom, and I mean, my
louder
gosh,
than
it was so loud.
Yeah.
That system we bought was...
Yeah, dude, I shit you not, the drum set, I remember
Probably
bass,
hard to hook it up.
bass, snare, floor tom, and then 2 mounted floor toms higher, then 4, then another 2 or 3 over. I mean, dude, it was like...
Big drum set.
It made Neil Peart's kit look small. It didn't have that many cymbals. I don't think he only had a couple crashes, riding hats, but yeah.
it was a
Wow.
monster.
Shitload of drums. Tama.
I love Tama. Man.
Yeah.
What was the great one they made? Not the Swing Star, the something classic.
The Star Classic's their big one
Star
now,
Classic,
right? Yeah.
that's it, yeah.
Yeah.
Tama. And the floating toms. Is that what they call them? What do they call them when they put them up on a tom stand? That used to be the shit, right?
Yeah, because you remember Vinny Appice had some of those.
Yeah, and hanging floor toms. Like that.
The suspended.
That doesn't even really happen anymore.
It doesn't.
Guys
No.
use legs.
No.
and-
When I bought that DW kit in 2000, the 18 was on legs with the 16 wasn't. Or no, maybe it was. I'm having that backwards. Anyway, I had backbeats, put legs on them, because that's where Kelly gagged me.
Oh, yeah.
When I came in the day of the show to pick up that tom, he's like, yeah, we had a little problem. We got something misaligned, and it made a hole too big, so the thing's loose. But if you don't play it, don't hit it at all tonight, it'll be fine. And they turn it around, and this leg's taped, like just massive amount of duct tape to the leg. And I just remember sitting there going,
They're like,
fuck.
No, that's not going to work. Yeah, I came in late. I didn't know about that all that drum stuff before, but because it was all legs I was doing when I was doing backline, and then we'd get a guy that would want a suspended 16 or something. It was like,
I hate that because your drums are just fucking floating.
And if you don't move that tom stand, because it's a tripod, right?
Yeah.
So you need to move the leg over.
Just right. Otherwise,
it gets bang on it, but you need it above it. Otherwise, the whole thing's in the top.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I thought that was ridiculous. So
it's weird.
But they resonate better.
I thought it was an oddity, and then people told me, no, this is the way it used to be.
Well, the funny thing is, the big thing behind it was like the drums resonate better.
Because they're not, they dampen the sound.
But then they're putting dampening gel on it to dampen
check all this
like, oh wait, so you didn't want that resonation.
Well, I want to start at the default point.
I could never figure that out. So it's like sulfates.
That's right.
It's just a fucking marketing gimmick, right?
Sure.
Is that a hair? That's a hair thing.
Yeah.
Is that color?
Sulfate-free
shampoos, detergent. Yeah.
You don't want any sulfates in there.
No, that's bad for you. It's going to give you eye cancer.
That's right.
Oh shit.
And then it turns out actually sulfates are okay.
Yeah.
Now that everyone's rid of them, and you can't get your hair clean anymore. Great move, people.
Thanks.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
Marketing.
Yeah.
Used to be what was in products. Now it's what's not in them. You know, the list of what's not in our product.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't carry this.
It's all vegan. Perfect. So we got a little dirt, bark, and grass, and no suds.
Bee extract is in there too.
No, because that's in line with vegan. It can't have any.
Yeah, that's right. We can't have insects.
Bee stuff.
I don't eat insects. I'm vegan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, dudes. Want to wrap it up?
Wrap it up. All right, man.
Pleasure.
Episode 5, D Train, D Priest, Desi Devereaux, TT Scarcelli. Signing out.